All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Phantom Anime Reviewer here, back again on the channel. It is now officially Tuesday, January 14th of 2025. So I hope y'all are having a good new year so far. Hope y'all are enjoying yourselves and your families, what have you. Hope you enjoyed the holiday season. Hope you're all doing well with your New Year's resolutions and all that. And I hope you all are also enjoying this season's anime because, of course, starting in the beginning of January, we had, of course, the Winter 2025 anime titles. And I myself, of course, as I have been for the last several years, have taken it upon myself to watch and follow some of these anime titles. Got the chance to watch some first episodes pretty heavy within the last couple weeks, and so far so good, man. I've really been enjoying the anime, not only the ones I've watched so far this season, but the ones that I just got through, the ones I wrapped up, from 2024, from the fall season. And so with this here video, I'm going to go ahead and do another one of these videos here. This has kind of been like a staple of this channel, something I've done regularly on this channel, and that is I'm going to show off the current season and the current seasonal anime that I am watching. And of course, I usually do so by basically keeping track of them via a list. As you see here, I've done this, like I said, I did it last year with every season, all 4 seasons. I did it the year prior, at least in the back end. And now I'm going to do it here in 2025. So here today, I'm going to give you my list of the Winter 2025 anime, the seasonal anime that I'm currently watching. So as you can see right here, I have them all written down. I have them all listed. So I'm just going to go through them one by one and kind of give you my brief thoughts on them so far. And like I said, for those of you familiar with the channel, you pretty much seen me do videos like this of this ilk previously. I'm pretty sure I have some of those videos, from 2024 still up. So let's go ahead and run down the list, shall we? And as you can see here, in my handy dandy notebook, I have all the titles written down. And all the check marks next to them are episodes that I've seen thus far. And that's pretty much how I keep track of, the anime that I'm watching, as well as how many episodes I am caught up with, up to this point. And so for this season, there's quite a number of them. Like, there's some season twos that were announced, months in advance, that I've obviously, of certain anime that I have watched that I, obviously want to continue following. So we had a couple season twos. And we also had some new anime that have dropped just, this year, just, this season alone. And that pretty much takes up a good portion of the titles here. And there are also anime that I'm continuing from, or that are continuing from the previous month, from the fall 2024, that I'm also watching. I'll get into those in a little bit. But anyway, so let's begin here. So as you can see, you got the Winter 2025 anime. So we'll start with the one at the top. We have Headhunted to Another World. From Salaryman to Big Four. Sorry, I have to kind of move the page a little bit just so you can see the title, just so you can see what I have written there. And we have 3 episodes released to that so far. So this has been a pretty fun series already. It's a isekai, not your standard isekai, but basically it follows the story of a man named Denosuke Uchimura who was transported to another world. He was just a regular Japanese worker, salaryman. And then he got recruited pretty much by the Demon Lord and was made one of the Demon Lord's Big Four, much to his surprise. And he's basically, even though he doesn't have powers or magic or anything, he's not a demon himself or a demi-human, but he basically uses his intellect or his experience from previous jobs to help out in various different ways. So in that sense, it's pretty unique from usual isekai you'll see. But anyway, so that's the first one. So then we have a series called Possibly the Greatest Alchemist of All Time. Just 2 episodes into that. I think the next episode will drop in another day or so. So that's an interesting one as well. We haven't seen a whole lot of anime recently with like using alchemy or whatever. And this is another isekai, obviously. And so far so good with that one. Or so far I'm enjoying what I've seen from that one. And Edward Elric from Fullmetal Alchemist has the main character of this series is going to give Edward Elric a run for his money. I'll say that. But anyway, so continuing on, we have a series called I'm Getting Married to a Girl I Hate in My Class. 2 episodes into that. That's just how it sounds. It basically follows the story of a male protagonist who is basically, I guess you could say, forced. Well, I mean, not necessarily forced, but he's basically he basically has this one girl who he doesn't like, who is his arch enemy. They constantly bicker, and then one day his grandfather, who owns like a conglomerate or owns like a big business or whatever, uh, basically. Basically tells him that he has to marry this girl, that he has to marry this girl that's in his class, that he doesn't like or whatever. They basically end up living together, and they have to basically cope with the fact that they are basically betrothed to each other, or it's like an arranged marriage situation. And this series so far is like it's quite humorous. It's one of those school life kind of anime, and it's very similar to Nisekoi. For those of you who remember that series, it's also I've heard some people compare it to a couple of Cuckoos as well. So it's a fun series so far. So I've enjoyed that too. All right, so next up we have a pretty interesting one here. One called Bihineko. The elf girl's cat is secretly an S rank, monster. That follows the story of a man who's a knight who basically dies and is reincarnated as a cat, and then this elf girl basically takes him in, and so yeah, it's one of those kind of series. A lot of ecchi stuff in there, a lot of a lot of fan service, all that kind of stuff is in that series. So yeah, that's definitely an interesting one. For those of you who have been following that. So if I that's all I'll say there. But anyway, 3 episodes into that. So that one's pretty fun so far. Yeah, it's it's pretty crazy, but it's been fun so far. So then we have the next Blue Exorcist series. The Blue Exorcist continues. We have the Blue Knight Saga, which I believe is season 4 or 5. I can't remember. So yeah, Blue Exorcist is continuing, and I'm 2 episodes into that, and I really like where that series is going. We're getting some backstory in regards to Rin and Yukio's parents and what happened in the past and all kinds of stuff. So Blue Exorcist, Blue Knight Saga, watching that. Then we have a series called I'm Living with an Otaku Neat Kunoichi. Nice little comedy series here where basically it follows a regular man, a regular, kind of salaryman worker or whatever, who one day he's attacked by a creature called a Yoma, and he ends up getting saved by this chick who turns out to be like a ninja, female ninja or kunoichi, and it turns out that she's like a NEET, she's a shunin, and she basically forms a quote contract with him to where she'll protect him from the Yoma if he allows her to live with him, and allows her to basically play games and kind of lounge around or whatever, or basically be a NEET. For those of you who know what a NEET is. Anyway, that's a fun series. Comedy, fantasy, action style anime series there. Moving on. So next up we have I don't want to harp too much on one title. I'm just going to get through the rest of these. So anyway, then we have a series called Okitsura Fell in Love with an Okinawan Girl, and that's the first part, but there's actually more to that title. I believe the full title is Fell in Love with an Okinawan Girl, but I just wish I knew what she was saying. So this one takes place in the Japanese area of Okinawa, or the islands of Okinawa, and basically it's a boy who transfers there or moves there from Tokyo, and he falls for a girl, and he can't really understand what she's saying because in Okinawa they apparently have like their own language, which is separate from standard Japanese. There's a fun series there as well, 2 episodes in. So then we have another interesting series, another kind of school life romance comedy series called Medaka Kuruiwa is Impervious to My Charms. Been hearing a lot about this one over the off season leading up to its debut, leading up to its release. So it follows the story of a girl by the name of Mona, who is like basically the most attractive girl. She's like a super attractive girl, and she's got obviously everybody she's ever encountered fawns over her. But there's one boy in her class by the name of Medaka Kuruiwa, who obviously the anime is named after, who is basically blows her off, basically ignores her for the most part, and she pretty much can't stand this, and she tries everything. She tries her utmost to try to get him to fall for her, pretty much. And so, yeah, a lot of craziness there. So then we have a series called I Have a Crush at Work. Another romance comedy here, more so romance on the romance side, where you have 2 office workers who are really into each other, and they end up dating each other, but they basically keep it a secret from their coworkers at their job because they don't want rumors and stuff getting out. So that's pretty much the gist of that series. But I think that's so far it's been an interesting series. It's nice to have basically an adult oriented romance when it comes to anime titles nowadays. So that's what I Have a Crush at Work is all about so far. 2 episodes with that. So next we have a series called I'm a Noble on the Brink of Ruin. That's the first part. The rest of it is I'm a Noble on the Brink of Ruin, so I might as well try Mastering Magic. 3 episodes into that. Another isekai here, where basically you have a boy who's transported just out of nowhere to another world, and he is reincarnated as a noble by the name of Liam Hamilton, and basically his family is very close to being basically ousted from power or ousted from nobility, and he tries he basically gets into magic and tries to basically become independent from his family, and so it's so a lot of cool, a lot of fun stuff there in that series. So then we got Bogus Skill Fruit Master, and that's again the first part. I won't say the rest. I think it's Bogus Skill Fruit Master. Um, I forget how the rest of it went. It's like Bogus Skill Fruit Master. Um, my skill allows me to eat, a special skill fruit or something like that. I can't remember the full title. But anyway, so that's a fantasy. That's not an isekai. I was thinking it was an isekai for a second. No, that's a fantasy series where basically the main character, wants to grow up, wants to become an adventurer, aspires to become an adventurer, and then he basically eats what they call a skill fruit, and his ability is called Fruit Master, which at first seemed like it was more so made for like farm life, and obviously he would have to give up on his dream and become an adventurer. Then one day it turns out that he can eat more than one fruit, which ordinarily if you eat more than one fruit you would die because of get poisoned. But his ability prevents him from getting poisoned, so he ends up eating other fruit, and thus he gains more skills, and thus he ends up becoming an adventurer. So yeah, really solid series there. I believe episode 3 just dropped today. I have yet to watch it. So then we got Unnamed Memory Season 2. For those of you who remember, Unnamed Memory dropped last year. I think it was last spring or summer. That was a spring-summer anime from 2024, and this is Season 2. So I got one episode in there, and episode 2 dropped today. I've yet to watch that. So continue on. We have another Season 2 here, Ishura Season 2. Episode 1 of that so far, and that was a series that dropped, I believe, last spring. So yeah, very much looking forward to that, seeing the continuation of that. Then we have Magic Maker, How to Make Magic in Another World. Another isekai, obviously. There are quite a few isekais I'm watching this season. So another series here where you got a guy who's transported, to another world, and he, is reincarnated as a young boy, and he basically finds, learns how to create magic. He finds out that magic doesn't exist in this current world, but he is able to basically make a form of magic, and so as we saw in the first episode. But anyway, so one episode with that. So then we have a series called The Daily Life of a middle-aged online shopper in another world. Another interesting isekai here, very different from usual ones where a guy is randomly transported. Middle-aged man is randomly transported. He's not reincarnated, or he doesn't die or anything. He's just transported to another world, and he basically uses the power of his item box and pretty much this website where he used to order stuff in his real life. He can actually use the site that he can actually use the site that he frequented in his original world and use it in this new world that he's in, and he can use that to like buy items and stuff. So pretty interesting series there so far. So then we have another series here called Even Given the Worthless Appraiser Class, I'm Actually the Strongest. One episode in that. That's an interesting fantasy series so far. One episode into that. Looking forward to seeing how that continues because it left on quite the cliffhanger after episode 1. So then we have a kind of, I guess you could say, dark fantasy action revenge type story called Ubel Blot, where one episode into that, and I've been hearing a lot about that over the holiday, and so very much looking forward to seeing the continuation of that. So then we have Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf. We have the first reverse isekai, if you will, of the season, where a young boy, or young man, I should say, who's basically, I guess you could say his ability, or not even really ability, but his kind of skill, if you will, is where he basically transports to another world in his dreams, and he has like adventures with this one elf chick, and then one day the two of them basically encounter a dragon, and they're killed basically, and then he returns to his world, and it turns out that the elf, that he encounters in this other world, basically comes to the world with him, and so we got interesting little situation there. So next up we got I May Be a Guild Receptionist, but I'll solo any boss to clock out on time. Interesting series here with a female protagonist here. So one episode into that, this features a female protagonist who's basically a guild receptionist, but she actually is like an OP character who solos, bosses, and wants to basically kind of keep her keep her strength a secret so she can, live out her dream job or whatever have you. So then we have probably one of the most anticipated anime of the season, Sakamoto Days. 2 episodes into that, follows the story of a world famous world class hitman who basically retires one day, starts a family, and he basically he ends up pretty much lazing around getting fat pretty much. But he, as we saw in the first 2 episodes, he pretty much has the same skill as he did when he was a well renowned assassin or assassin, whatever have you, or whatever the what the fuck. But anyway, so yeah, so Sakamoto Days, 2 episodes into that. That is an interesting series, and like I said, is pretty darn popular. I think a lot of people were looking forward to it. One of the most anticipated anime of this season of 2025, and so 2 episodes in, and I'm definitely very much looking forward to seeing how that plays out. So then, moving on to the final 3 here, we got I left my A rank party to help my former students, and so another fantasy series here, where basically the main character is part of like a top tier party, and he ends up leaving it because he is mistreated, and then he comes across a party of his students, and he joins them, and he basically helps them along. So look forward to seeing how that goes. So then we have one of the anime that I've personally been looking forward to for a long time now. We have the second season of the 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You. Oh man, I love this fucking series. If you guys don't know, when this series released in fall 2023, it quickly became one of my favorite harem series of all time, and now finally season 2 has come out. You guys have seen the videos I've done. I've showed you guys my manga collection of the series. I collect the manga series. I'm up to volume 12. You guys saw that video, and so far you guys have seen here on this channel, I've uploaded some clips from the 100 Girlfriends first episode, and I uploaded the opening and closing, and both those videos have pretty substantial amount of viewership, so appreciate that. But yeah, so 100 Girlfriends season 2, it is peak harem, peak rom com, peak fantasy, or peak comedy parody series. I love it. I very much enjoyed episode 1 and can't wait to see the rest. 100 Girlfriends, peak anime right there, peak harem. And then finally we have a series, another isekai to round out the isekai here. The Red Ranger becomes an adventure in another world, where basically it follows the individual calling himself the Red Ranger, or Red I forget what the hell they call it, Red Ranger basically, and he's transported to another world, and he basically tries to get back to his own world, but he wants to help the world that he's currently in. So looking forward to seeing that. And there's a lot of comparisons or parodies, I should say, or tropes from usual Sentai, anime, or anime similar to Power Rangers or something like that. And there's a lot of different comedy elements in that. So the first episode was definitely funny. It was quite humorous. So I'm very much enjoying that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are all the titles. So if you count them all up, if you tally them all up, it is 23 anime titles in total. So 23 anime that I'm currently watching with the winter 2025 releases. And on top of that, there are 4 anime titles that I am watching in regards to the fall 2024 anime. So let me see if I can pull up the page here. Let's see, which one is it? Oh, okay, here we go. All right, so there are 4 of these that are continuing on through the fall 2024. As you can see, we got Tying the Knot with Phenomenagame Sister, Blue Box, Trillion Game, and A Terrified Teacher at Ghoul School. I don't know if you can see those, but those are the 4. So you have the 23 of the winter 2025 anime, in addition to the 4 that are continuing from the fall that I am watching. So that's 27 different anime titles that I'm watching up to this point here in 2025. So yeah, a lot of anime watching, but but it's something I've been doing, for the past couple years. So I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and so far, all these titles, the 23 here, as well as the 4 that are continuing from fall, I've enjoyed all of it. Like, I'm especially, obviously 100 Girlfriends, Sakamoto Days, some of these other titles, some of these isekai titles it's been fun so far, and I'm really enjoying it. And so far, so good, man. So I'm going to continue to watch them, and I'll let you guys know when the time comes, I might decide to do some first impressions videos on some of these, and you'll be seeing that very soon. But anyway, that's pretty much going to do it for that. So that'll conclude my winter 2025 anime, or my list of winter 2025 anime that I'm currently watching. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, give me your thoughts on any of these titles if you guys are watching any of these, or give your thoughts on anything I kind of covered here. And be sure to subscribe to the channel, man, if you haven't already. Appreciate all the support you can get. We're very close to hitting 100 subs here on the channel. We had a lot of growth within the last couple days, with those 100 girlfriend clips I've been uploading. So greatly appreciate that, guys. But anyway, so thank you for watching. I'll be sure to stay tuned for more content, more clips, more reviews. I'm trying to get back to doing some of the reviews and whatever have you. Hope I can get my camera situation sorted out. Hopefully this video comes out well. But anyway, that's all I got to say for this video, man. So thank you for watching again. Till next time, Phantom Anime Reviewer signing off here on the PR channel on YouTube. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, I'm out for now. Peace.